point where I got into the rotary scene. Me personally myself, I was looking at prices like RX-7s and RX-8s and all that stuff, right? I found a nice FC. Passed it up, by the way. Just didn't buy it. I should have taken the FC. Well, this is the story about basically how I really should have just gotten that FC because it was in decent condition. Long story short, ended up going to buy an RX-8. Not even going. I talked to this guy online. I have nothing against Mexican people. In my opinion, I am Hispanic myself. Nothing wrong with any of those kind of people. So, me talking to the guy, talked to him in Spanish, obviously, I see, yo quiero comprar este carro, y cosas así, you know, stuff like, I want to buy the car and all that shit, I'm very interested. And honestly, from the looks of the picture, it was a very well put together car, and it looked well put together. And then, what ended up happening was, I got shafted so hard by this Mexican guy. I honestly, like, when the car is fully functional, I'm going to find him. So, long story short, he showed me pictures online. He showed me everything looking like it was cool. Like, oh yeah, no, I'll hook you up and all. I'll save the car for you. It's like, really, he had two RX-8s. He sold his better one for cheaper, which I don't even freaking get. And then he sold me his worse one for more expensive. I ended up copying my RX-8 for about $6,000. You know, I was thinking it said it had 120,000. The lies that this man unspiraled onto me was just immense, massive. It was ridiculous. I bought this RX-8 thinking, hey, I'm gonna go take it up to the mountains with the boys and go drifting. Something you guys are gonna find out as the videos go on further is I'm a crazy drifter and I love that stuff. That is what I live for. Cars, putting them together, drifting them, racing them, that is what I live for. I love the car scene. I have always grown up around that stuff. And me finally owning my own rotary sports car, because the first car I ever had was a Forester. You weren't going to do any racing in that. But owning my, second rotary car, so I knew how the rotary engine was supposed to work. I knew how all the things were supposed to feel, right? Because I got my first RX-8 for about $2,000. Nicest guy on earth. It was selling for about 4 or 5, dropped it down to about 2. This car wasn't just in good shape, this car was in mint condition shape. And we're gonna get into why I don't have it. So, I was enjoying this car thoroughly, don't get me wrong. Rotaries are a pain in the ass, and as all of us know, rotaries ain't forgiving. They're the gift that keeps on giving until they say apex seal failure, or let me see here, rotor failure, or misfire on one of the rotors, right? Which isn't that uncommon. We, us rotary people, know the pain and know all this BS that they give us. Aside from that, I had my nice RX-8, I drift around with it a bit. It was not as ultra grand as my new one, don't get me wrong, but it was way better than my new one. My new one is a year newer, but honestly, it might as well be 3 years older because the dash was cracked. He didn't show me this, and you could not see it when he dropped my car because I ordered my car and I had it dropped to my door. Like last time the guy actually didn't just drop it off. He drove it here from New Jersey, and we ended up getting into conversations like that. He's always been super helpful, and he's always gotten like give me advice about rotaries and stuff like that. Since call me psycho, but I think everyone out there knows that if you're a rotary person, you're a glutton for pain. It is one of the hardest well, I don't really know. Like from my perspective, rotaries are really my main car. It is the car that I'm the most comfortable with, most familiar with, and the most keen and how to put they make my day. My RX-8, long story short, dash cracked. Not only that, on top of that, the seat, the power seat is just, the battery's gone, obviously. Does not go front or forward. And on top of that, the tow truck made a mistake taking my car off the tow. He cracked the front end of the bumper and the back end, so I call this Mexican. Nothing wrong with Mexicans, like I said. Some of my best friends are Mexican. Like I said, myself, I'm Hispanic. Not Mexican, but Hispanic. Dominican. So I call this man, he's like, oh no, the car is fine, I put my soul into it, he's like, you know this, I'm like, I don't care what soul you put into my car, I don't care what you did to it, all I know is that it's not working right, and it is pissing me off. So, guy completely goes to me, gets all my stuff right, whatever, right? So now I'm stuck on this rotary that's half works, half doesn't. I've been putting it together bit by bit, and you guys are going to be the key witness of my build. Right now I'm getting a new 13B in it. No, it's not an RAW. I wish I had the money for that right now, but no. We settled for a nice engine with about 42k miles, it said on it. Long story short, it's going into my car. I'll leave links and pictures on shit, but it is a nice engine. Comes with transmission too and everything. That's going to go in my car in about 2 weeks. And also, when this motor gets pulled out, because as you guys know, rotaries can be rebuilt, it can be messed with a bit. I don't know if I'm either A, going to rebuild the motor, turbo it, and do some stuff to it, or just B, scrap that motor altogether, sell whatever's off left of it, and buy myself one of those nice ones off an FD, those motors, and twin turbo that. Or most of those already come twin turbo, just gotta get the motor mounts and stuff for it. So, this Mexican, we ain't even going to get into it. He tried to bring me with pity. This man, I really can't understand humans sometimes. He really tried to make me pity him when you just took basically $6,000 away from me. I don't pity you in the slightest. You can, for all I care, your house can catch on fire, your babies or children, whatever it is, can be kidnapped by Smeagol, and freaking Adolf Hitler can come here with his alien species and abduct your wife. I do not care. You done ripped me hard. So, long story short, I'm built the rotary altogether, as I have been. I've been doing everything I can to keep it alive. And not just that, the car had more messed up with it. Let's go on about that. It had no power steering. And let me add, everybody that knows an RX-8 isn't that stupid. All you need is, like, really the connection. Power steering unit's all in there. There is no connection to make the car go, to, like, steer correctly. So now I have stiff power steering, basic, complete garbage. The motor, every time, like, I rev to about 3, it starts going, it starts shaking. And I'm not 3, 6 RPMs. When I get about there is when it stops trying to, if I stomp on the gas there, it's going to buckle back a little bit and launch me. Or it's just going to go and have problems the entire way. So this guy not only just ripped me, he ripped me on the car pretty hard. And I basically poured my soul and life to this car because rotaries are my thing. And like I said, I copped mine before, as we all know, the RX-8s are jumping up in price and the RX-7s are jumping up in price. So, oh yeah, there's no lights in the doors either. Like those little light things in there? No, gone. They're not in there. So I bought that. Had to buy a new blinker light because that's just broken right off. The tow truck messed that up. That's not even that guy's fault. But let's be honest here. If anybody ripped you on a car, we're just going to take a baseball bat and find where they live. But key point is, always, and I mean always, ask for, when it comes to rotaries, at least in my fair opinion, always ask for, what do you call that shit? I'm sorry guys, I'm drawing a blank. Basically, always make sure the apex heels are intact, make sure the rotors are intact, make sure it has good compression, get the sheets, make sure you get a video testing about this too. You can never trust anybody selling a rotary. Nothing wrong with the rotary community, as I myself am part of it. There are great people in the rotary community, just all want to do is help you. And all they want to do is really, like, bring you with them, like help you out, like, don't give up, like, stay in there. I know it's a pain in the ass, I know it may be a money bucket, but if you just learn how to do it yourself, it's not going to be as much of a money bucket, and not only that, you're going to have a timeless piece of a car that's just going to age perfectly and always keep gaining value. And leaving at that, boys, I will leave my, I'm going to say, Instagram down in the description. I'm going to say, let's see, I've been kind of new to this, so Snapchat, Instagram, y'all can catch me streaming on Twitch. I'm going to be doing some of that too. But my car is mainly a YouTube channel for car stuff. So basically, right now it's just my intro. And second, later on, we're going to go into more depth in my RX-8. We're going to basically put it together and all that stuff. And you guys are going to get videos and basically not just like commentaries and stuff like that. You guys are going to get a tutorial out of it too while you're out of it. So you guys are going to be here to learn with me how to basically not only be the best street racer that I could ever be, and yes, I'm saying this because Initial D really took a key fact in my life. What I'm telling you guys, what I live for is the racing and the gunshots and the sideways in the corner. Not the gunshots, as in the gunshots come out of the back of my exhaust, but you guys probably understood that. It brings a whole new light to me. It's just something all car people really truly understand. It's that freedom of not just having your car, but on the side of that, being able to do whatever badass shit you want with it. But kicking it sod, you guys are gonna know me. I'm a drifter at heart. Always love drift racing. I always try to find people for drift racing. There's not many of those here in America, obviously, as you know. So I try and all that stuff, but it's really just about getting my foot somewhere, really, and racing as many people as I can, so I can get ability and get good for this on the street, while I take it on the track too. But I'm more of a street racer, if we're going to be honest. Track racing is fun. I love track racing, and I don't recommend any of you to do what I do, because street racing, yes, is severely dangerous, and yes, can get you killed and other people hurt. Me, that's just the way I choose to live my life and conduct myself, although I carry myself at a higher regard. I don't like the illegal thing I really do is street race, let's be honest here. We all gotta get a little, we all gotta let a little steam off sometimes, and for some of us, that really is our car. For a lot of us, actually, our car is not only just a way to get back and home from work, it is something we can conduct and pour our passion to, pour our blood, sweat, and tears into. And at the end of the day, you always know it always gonna work out in the end. Or it might not, you never know. You could be that one dude trying to put V12 in a Miata, but anybody that does that just maybe needs to go talk to Dr. Phil, possibly get some counseling beyond Dr. Phil's help. Because whoever does that one, you are in a death trap of a car. I had a Miata. Those things are, when they're going 140, they're not that, how I put like this, stable. They rattle like a freaking box. And before y'all tell me you can't make a Miata go 140 on a stock engine, well, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a stock engine. I don't even know what I had in it. Some guy sold it to me with a V6 in it that the Miata didn't even come with, and a single turbo. So yeah, no, that Miata was flying. Still kind of missed me on it, but that one also had no power steering too. Anyways, guys, for more stories, just turn on notifications, subscribe, all the above. Like and comment if you want. Any support helps, and we're going to leave it at that. This has been the Rotary Boys, and we out.